All right, looks like first break is good to go. Maybe second break or really close. GoldenEye music, correct. For a moment there. All right, before this gets even more cold and gross, cheers. All right, Tetsnick, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 34. Let's see if you can guess it. 0 is not an option. Between 1 and 34, you already failed. I'm beaming it to you. Is he even here? Real man, I'm beaming it to you. 23. How did you know, dude? How did you know that I was thinking of the number 23 right there? You're really freaking me out, dude. You should do children's parties. Or maybe like employee retreats. Be a motivational speaker with like the little earpiece. 23 is the best number. Wasn't there a whole movie on how 23 was an evil number? Courtesy of Jim Carrey. Because 2 divided by 3 is 666. The whole basis of that movie was that. I feel like you could find that number in equivalent equations. But let me tell you, that movie really focused in on that. I don't think I've even seen that movie on any platform since it came out in theaters. Was that ever watchable anywhere? Or did they kind of just like delete that movie? It was like Beautiful Mind with like a lot of extra mental conditions added on top. It was a beautiful movie, honestly. I'm curious now. I have not seen that movie. When did that come out? Grade school, maybe, for me? Bro, don't tell me that this movie doesn't exist. I'll actually lose my mind. We're a 100% like the timeline's been shifted if it doesn't exist. It was no, that's the Blackjack movie. 21 was the Blackjack movie. I think. I hope. Bro, Jim Carrey was in that movie. The number 23. Did you see that movie, Real Man, or no? I don't think it's aired since it left the theaters. I'm surprised it even went to the theaters. It's not a horror movie. But you really don't watch horror movies? I'll watch horror movies that, like, aren't just jump scares, if that makes sense. Horror in a different way. Alright, first break is good to go. We have a number on the table, and Real Man was thinking of the exact number that I was thinking. Not a genre you like? Any reason for that? They scare you? I'll admit it's not my favorite genre either, but just because I feel like just really loud jump scares doesn't really do it for me. Gotcha. All right. For those of you that don't know how to do this, last hit of the break, whatever type it is, you get the graded card. I don't know what's in the envelope. It's been sealed. And I didn't make them. Here's everyone's favorite. It's Iron Moth. Growing up watching Pokemon, everyone has their favorite, but most of them, they say Iron Moth. Can I trade you my Charizard for your Iron Moth, please? What do you mean? That's the best trade ever. All right, my keyboard is sitting on top of something. There we go. It's making it all uneven and it's driving me up a wall. Did the card trick wrong, and there's a full art. Gorgeous. Jordan. Jordan, I don't know if it's your first break or if I haven't seen your name in a while, but good first spot to have. Not that any of the other spots are any less good, but Trainer is just... Oh! That's one way to start the week. Casey? Literally one of the two gold hits on the box art. Can't tell you the last time I saw that. fighting. My pinky is extremely bruised. I don't know from what, and it's not broken because I could still move it, but it's... I don't know what the hell happened. This is your first break? You're excited to give it a try? Well, you're off to a great start, dude. And welcome. You got any questions, you let me know. The spicy chicken. Real man, have you watched like Narcos Mexico? I feel like we talked about cartel stuff before, and you were like somewhat knowledgeable of it. Because I was like reading about, I didn't realize that at the end there was like sort of like a conspiracy that like wasn't really solved. See, I look at them as different shows, even though they do tie together. You know Amado? Amado Carrillo? The Lord of the Skies? The dude who's like in charge of like the fleet of planes for like trafficking everything? Carrillo Fuentes, I think his name is. Yes. He was in OG Narcos, I think briefly though. Like in season 3. He was the pilot in Narcos Mexico, and then he became like the boss of like the entire fleet of planes, and then eventually just... So what happened in real life that's portrayed on the show, he was going to have facial reconstructive surgery and just disappear. And he died on the operating table. And the surgeons were also found not alive, but was pronounced dead. But even though the remains were like all messed up from the quote unquote surgery. So a lot of people think that in real life, he's in like, he disappeared. He got away. But no one questioned it. They just concluded the evidence, the investigation there. Pretty interesting, because I was like reading about it afterwards. I was like, what happened with that whole situation? Because they kind of left it like hanging. But it was based on like an actual thing. Have you watched the history documentary, Hunting Hitler, or no? Not documentary, but like actual investigation. If you haven't, I highly recommend that. Well, they didn't like find him per se, but they found enough evidence that like it the history books like should be changed. The fact that there's just somewhere like in South America or Argentina, it's just randomly all German. And I guess the reason why, Real Man, I didn't even think about it, but I looked it up. The reason why they're not making another season of Narcos that would bring us to more current is probably because these people wouldn't appreciate having a special on Netflix because they're still alive. They won't ever change them because it would be a failure of... Not really, though. What was the goal? The goal was to win the war. Conquer Germany. End whatever was going on. That Lickitung, though. Well, I mean, who's going to get priority over everyone? It's the high-ranking dudes, the inner circle. What's even more concerning is what they were planning once they all got there, which was basically going to be like just all-out attack on everybody. They were purchasing like stuff to make like nukes and whatnot, and had facilities, but that never happened, thankfully. Pretty much. Like the random like military like buildings and bunkers that they were finding and like on the coast was insane. And then there was that house that they weren't allowed to go to, but they like snuck like a drone in. Okay, we got Trainer into Psychic. Water is the last hit now. That was a triple hit pack right there. In my opinion, one of my favorite moments on that whole documentary was when they were trying to like figure out how he would have gotten out. And he's like, oh, they couldn't have landed or taken off a plane here because there's lampposts on the sides. And then they found a picture from that year with no lampposts. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, 100%. I'm with the school, like, the remains weren't his when they tested him years later. Electric is the last hit. That's like the number one piece of most like conclusive evidence. All right, let's see if electric holds it. Trainer snipes it. Jordan, I was about to call you Gordon, but I read your name. Jordan, you got it. I have to double check, but yes. Your first break, you got a graded card. Last pack magic. Could you imagine if you're a descendant of him and not know it? I feel like you would. I feel like if there's anything that they're going to inform you of that you should be aware of, they'd probably inform you. Because on the documentary, they found Ava Braun, his wife, like, still has people alive. And they didn't want to show up on camera. They wanted all that stuff to go away. Well, let's see what you get. Jordan, welcome. I think this break thing is going to work out well for you. Yo. First edition Fossil Magneton. Hollow. 6. Gorgeous. And no, I didn't write it on the slab. It's inside of a graded card sleeve. Congrats to you, my friend. Solid break overall, though. Like, that's nuts that we just pulled that. Sounds good, my guy. Whatever you buy throughout the week gets put in one package. So you buy in again today or Wednesday or Friday, it all comes together. All right. Onward. But yeah, real man, when I figured that out about like the facial reconstruction surgery and that whole thing, that was like I didn't realize that until like this recent watch through, and I Googled it. I had no idea. All right. Well, I mean, it probably worked. Um, I'm thinking of a number 1 to 34. Who's going to guess it? Seventeen. 17 was the exact number I was thinking of. How do you do that, dude? It's insane. Just got. I thought they got. I thought they made the deal though. They made a deal and like took a charge for like something about horses. Because they made a deal like before. The fact that like he built like Pablo built his own prison and like you could see video of it is insane. He literally made himself a 5-star resort. Oh, I need water. They made a deal to charge of illegal bulls from Spain, but they ended up. Oh, damn, really? I guess, like, I was reading about it. They still find his money buried everywhere, but by this time it's all rotted because, like, they didn't bury it properly. I guess like his nephew, he bought his nephew a house and hid like 3 million in the walls, and it was all rotted because he never told him. That would probably be pretty disappointing. You rip out the walls, you're like, oh damn it, he couldn't have told me. One spot in this next one. I'm updating a list right now. But like, it makes me really sad that they're not like they don't plan on doing another season of Narcos Mexico, because that's when everything would like gotten like really crazy. When like they would have brought in like the special forces dude and everything. Los Zetas. Why is there so many gaps after your name? Jeez. All right, 2 is full. 3 is the last break of this evening with spots available. Because I got to switch it up for Wednesday. I have to add more rows to scroll down. Oh boy. Gonna have to fix that later. Hold on, I can't see chat, but I'll get caught up in a second. And you said be right back. What's up, 667? All right. Good luck, everybody. 17 was the envelope that was chosen. That Nidoking is so clean. Charles, very good. Been a minute since I've seen it too. And we got Felicia Duh in here. Let's go. Ryan, I haven't seen you in a little bit. What's up? Jesse. Kyle. Everybody. Frankie. Spicy chicken. Entire. A gimme ghoul. Oh, welcome back, real man. But yeah, now that I've rewatched all of that, now I'm out of shows again. So we're back to square one. Any good show worth watching is like years of development away, or just never going to be made. I hope Fallout Season 2 lives up to the hype, because the first one was so good. Mine do that too, except it's usually because they see a rabbit, because we have a lot of rabbits in our backyard, and they've been feeling comfortable enough to just come up to like the back patio door. And then if Luna sees it, she goes berserk. That's why we have the lead on her, but then she just goes right into the bushes with the lead and then just gets all tangled up. The Hyper Mooster for trainer. Felicia Duh. The Ruffian. I don't know what it was about today, dude, but I was just... I made breaks for today, got a bunch of stuff done, but I've just been exhausted. Like, the weekend just wasn't even restful at all. Fine them doing breaks, obviously, but just, like, didn't want to do anything. Could be that I worked out and I was just tired from that, though. I started replacing the bike cardio with rows. I definitely felt it in my legs. Here's the problem with that reel, man. It's a company that has, like, Pokemon is a company that makes a lot of money from the cards. My issue with that theory would be why would they give away something that's making them a lot of money? And if that does go through, the dude who owns Fanatics and all these companies literally needs to be in prison. Because now he owns too much stuff. Yeah, but I still don't see that happening. I would have heard about it by now. I have seen it talked about. It's not going to happen. Right. But effectively, that's a monopoly. And I feel like there's already stuff in motion going against that company, which is Fanatics. They own too much. They own all the rights to everything already. How they have it, how there hasn't been already like a Supreme Court level hearing is beyond me. I don't know how. They have an entire monopoly on everything sports. From jerseys to pictures to the cards. The feeling in my gut is before a deal like that would even be entertained, they're probably going to get dissolved because it's not, you can't have them own everything. It's literally a monopoly. Yeah, but the company that owns Topps is Fanatics. They can't own everything. It's literally not legal. They can't, like, they can't. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Yeah, but this is different, dude. A lot of different people. Like, this is the most outright one I've seen. And with every acquisition that they make, Real Man, the quality just goes to just piss poor. Because they just cut corners and maximize whatever profits they can. I've been reading that like people have just been not buying jerseys outright altogether because the quality is just so poor. Ooh. Steel into Psychic. From what I know, Real Man, and what I've heard, I wouldn't put money on that happening. Yeah, but if the reason for signing them for more money is cutting down on the quality altogether, so you're paying for something that's worse, is not really a plus. They've already screwed up multiple times. I've read articles about like them screwing up autographs on their cards. Trainer's last hit right now. We'll see if that holds. One pack left. Trainer takes it. Felice Duh. Let's go. Let's see what you get. Yeah, but them taking over wouldn't solve that issue. In my opinion, it'd probably be worse. First edition Dragonite PSA 9 from Fossil. That is gorgeous. Everything relating to that company I've seen as a pretty like solid negative, just overall. If they went away, everything would probably be better, if I'm being honest. Everything they've touched, I've seen degrade greatly. These PSA cards, we've had numerous amounts of slabs in our own inventory. Still waiting to hear back from PSA. I'm guessing it's going to be very soon. I think we just sent them another email like last Friday. So I'm sure we're going to get one back either today. I haven't even talked to Nick yet. We could have probably got one today. I'll double check those, Sven. Obviously, I'm going to be shouting it from the mountaintops when they do come. But these are just slabs that we've had. I think the cards would be better if they just bought tops, but yeah, but that's not what they're doing, dude. They're like doing hostile takeover of just wanting to own everything so then they can control everything and jack up prices. All right, we got some spots left in 3. It'll be the last break for this evening. See if we can get that filled up. Well, there's a reason why I'm not doing submissions for a while, aside from, them causing me headaches by having everyone waiting for their stuff. Oh, I can buy 10 more Ultra Balls. Let's go. I'll wait and see if we can fill this one up. If not, it'll be the first break Wednesday, but I'm willing to wait here. I feel like the temperature amped up again today because I went in the garage and it was like an oven. I was like, what the hell is going on? You are very welcome. It's a sick card. It's gorgeous. All right, from what I'm seeing on the website, this is going to be the first break Wednesday, but good start to this week. You were not expecting that whatsoever? Oh, there you go. You never know what's going to happen. If you get a spot, you can get a graded card or just good hits, you know? But I'll roll this over. It'll be the first break Wednesday. Gaming stream tomorrow, and I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. Love you. You're